All right, good morning and welcome everyone back to the 2025 Lancaster Archery Classic at Spooky Nook Sports Complex here in Mannheim, PA. It is Sunday morning, championship weekend here at the Classic. And welcome everyone to the Lancaster Archery broadcast booth. I'm PJ Riley sitting alongside Chuck Cooley. Chuck, we've had some great matches already, but today we're hoping for some more good ones.
It's been a weekend. Holy cow, some excitement going on out there. I had a blast watching the barebow guys again last night. That's some of the most exciting shooting you can see out here. And today's going to be no slouch either. There's some big matches coming up, some big upsets that you're going to see that created the brackets for today. And man, if you've got nothing to do this afternoon and this morning, you need to be tuned into this for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Chuck, we're going to run through our rules here. Take us through how we got to this point for our first division.
Well, the top four qualifiers are, they make it in and they rank their ties broken by 11s. That's the center X ring. And then it's a bottom up or a ladder format where the lowest seed comes in against the seed above that, and then they work themselves to the finish. Number 4 versus 3. The 12 ring in the bottom of the target, you'll see that. It's a little tiny white dot. It's 1.5 centimeters in size, so it's a challenge to go after that. Max points for this particular round are 136. You must call that 12 if you're going to try to go for it, and you only get one call per end. So there's going to be some strategy there on when you decide to hit that button and go for it.
Absolutely, Chuck. So we should mention that Masters Open Pro is our first division. So we're going to go out to Josh Grind to bring in our first archers.
All right, let's get this morning started with Masters Open Pro, your 4th place qualifier. Danny Minnick from Amherst, Virginia. He was 2nd in the 2019 Classic. Welcome, Danny, to the stage. All right, and your 3rd place qualifier from Lowville, Ohio, Randy Morrocco. He's been ASA Shooter of the Year and Indoor Nationals champ. Welcome, Randy, to the stage.
Been here multiple times. He was shooting in the Masters Open class, was on the big stage here for that. Moved up to the pro class, finished 2nd last year. Randy Morrocco, he is an indoor national champ and has just been working on his game. Seems like the last couple years, Randy has really elevated.
He has, you know, the last couple of years, especially into the ASA realm, really become a dominant force. You know, if you go head-to-head against him, you are going to have a fight on your hands. You know, I jokingly, I call him the preacher, but there's nothing soft about that guy. He's going to make you earn every single point.
Absolutely. So we want to remind folks out there, Chuck, that what happened is every archer we're going to see today shot 60 arrows in qualification. Mm-hmm. We ranked them based off of that, and then we went into like an NCAA-style bracket for elimination matches to get down to the final 8, or as in this division, the final 4, who are in our finalists.
Right, and so Danny, to get here, he had to go against Mark Rubio, was number 4 qualifier.
Yep.
He took him out 127 to 116, and then went up against Tim Audis, again, another legend in the sport. Took him out 128, 124 to put him in this position here.
So Randy, first arrow, inside out 11. Looks like Danny has an 11 as well with his first arrow. So these guys here, Masters Open Pro, that means 50 plus. And they're gonna throw down some big scores.
Good steady shot there. He looks comfortable. A little bit of a tremble there. See that little wobble? Wow, smoked it.
started in target archery the way many of us did. He was a bow hunter. Needed something to do in the winter.
Mm-hmm. See that little bobble is just right there?
Yeah.
And if you were paying attention, he had a big green dot in his scope here, and that's going to help him see that in this lighting condition.
10.
All right, we're going to go out to Josh Grine. We're going to meet our archers.
Let's put our hands together for these guys. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are the nerves up there? This is an old show for you, right?
Oh, yeah, but the nerves never stop.
Nerves never stop. Well, you came out at 8 o'clock in the morning, shot a pretty good round. Why don't you run through your equipment that got you here this weekend?
So I have a Matthews Title 40, Hamskea Rest, True Ball Excel sight, Ultra View scope housing, Hamskea Peep sight, True Ball HBC Rest, gold tip, black gold tip triple X's with boning vanes.
So you got the match bowstrings on there. What knocks you have on those there?
Boning double lock.
Seems to be working well for you.
Yeah.
Good luck the rest of the morning. We're here to Danny. This is your second time up here. The nerves any better this time? Probably worse.
I love it when they have to go through their equipment there and kind of give everybody an idea of what they're using. I think it gives the archers a really good perspective on what kind of variations guys are going to use to set up their gear to be successful out here.
There's 18,000 different configurations you could have up there. So
I like that you've done the math on that.
I may be off by one or two,
One or
but
two.
between bows, sights, scopes, stabilizers, I mean, there's no standardization there.
Oop, Randy, Danny there. Little of a pump. Now, they are on a clock here. Keep that in mind.
30 seconds they get, which is actually 10 seconds more than in most competitions. Usually it's a 20-second clock. So,
Little high right there on Danny. Now, Randy, for what it's worth, to get here in these matches, he qualified number 7 in the overall qualification bracket. Went up against Benton Christensen, past champion here.
yeah, last year's champ.
131, 129, and then he went up against Bill Drake, 129, 128. So a real tough match there, and that put him in this position to get into the shootout.
Yeah, Randy Morrocco, I talked to him yesterday, and he said this year he's in the middle of living his dream. He's doing nothing but competing in archery. He said he's never done that. He's always worked his whole life. He said this year, he wanted to take 1 year and do nothing but compete as a pro.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be trouble for a lot of people. You'd give a guy like that kind of time and that kind of freedom.
Yeah.
Now, his last shot went off a little bit quick there. You saw the little kind of where he caught his bow there. Dropped it in there for a 10.
11.
Good looking shot.
There we go. All right, Josh is going to run through Danny's equipment.
The last 2 hours, so you're able to settle those nerves down. Why don't you tell us about the equipment you're using this weekend?
I'm shooting a new Hoyt Concept X. Shibuya ball, Shibuya sight, Shibuya scope, Hamskea Rest, and shooting a Scott Apex Core release.
What arrows you got back there?
Easton 2712s with Bita Knox.
And what bowstrings you have on there?
Huh?
What bowstrings you using?
Factory.
Factory bowstrings. Danny, how long you been shooting?
All in all, probably 17 years, but I took about 15 years off one time.
17 years. Well, congratulations on making it this far. Good luck the rest of the morning.
I took 15 years off one time. That's a different way of explaining it.
You know, I'm impressed with the fact that he's shooting the factory strings. You know, that's not a common thing with most archers, but I think you've seen in the last couple of years, you know, especially with Hoyt.
Yep, fuse strings.
Yeah, they've really stepped up their in-house string making game, and you can really trust those factory strings. You don't necessarily have to,
Right.
you know, take them off like a lot of guys do as soon as they take the bow out of a box. and you can really trust those. Just a little tall there for a 9.
Yeah, Danny's shooting the fuse, and we heard Randy shooting the match, which is Matthew's factory strings.
Mm-hmm.
And Chuck, I always like to mention, you know, these are the masters, the 50 plus. So on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, we start with them. Because if you're going to look for somebody who's been awake for 3 hours, it's guys over 50 at 8 a.m.
Yeah, they're the first guys in line at 6 a.m. for the breakfast at the hotel. They've been up for a couple hours already.
Might as well have them shoot.
A little low 10 there. Still a pretty tight match. Only 2 points separating these guys.
That is a big dot he's got in there, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously covering a good portion of what he's aiming at. And, you know, and then conversely, you see some archers who like a real small dot.
Yeah, I'm a small dot guy. Let it float in the middle. And Danny's probably a cover the whole yellow, let it settle in the red kind of guy. Look at that 1-point match. My hunch is going to be one of them's going to touch that 12 button here on the next. And
yeah, we should mention, you know, that 12 button, we had a special whole new setup for that this
I saw
year,
that, yeah.
where there's a button on a pedestal behind them, so they turn around, and then the floor under their feet will light up, as well as there's a number 12 in the background that will light up red.
I saw that, and it was really great looking at the camera angles last night, you know, for the shoot-offs.
Yeah.
As the camera's looking at them, you can see that 12 back there. And I was like, oh, I bet that's by design so that we can tell who's doing what.
The original 12 button was handmade on site here in the Nook. That was the thing that they stepped on the floor. So it was rigged. But then we had one of our customer service, our return specialist, Sean Snyder. He made these boxes for us that are really well done, professionally done.
Yeah, they light up. It's really cool. You know, I don't think anybody really takes into consideration the pressure of when you elevate yourself that 10 inches off the floor there, the difference that it makes in your brain. It feels like you're standing on a mountain out there all by yourself.
Well, a lot of what I've been hearing is a lot of folks now will practice. They'll have Lancaster Archery warm-ups, and that's one of the things they do is they put their shooters on platforms just to give them some experience with it.
Yeah, we used to do that back home as well. I like this. We got a time match going into the final 3 arrows. Danny leads it off.
11.
Good solid start. Little head shake there. He kind of doubted, wondered how he shook that in.
You always like those.
11.
All right, here we go. We only had one shoot-off yesterday, Chuck, so maybe we'll start the day off with one here now.
Let's do it. Look at the tip of that stabilizer, barely moving.
11.
Yep, he did. He caught the edge of that.
I see Randy with some up-down movement.
11.
Got it. That was a longer hold for him.
I'd rather it go straight up and down than 3 to 9. I'll take a
What-
6-12.
What, I don't see any of them doing the figure 8 like I do, Chuck.
Yeah, that's what mine has been lately.
There we go,
You
33
know what?
for
There's a
Danny.
perfect start. So now it's all on Randy here to either tie it up or hand it off.
He did not go to the 12, so he wants to tie it.
10.
Oh, just low.
You saw that little bobble right there at the end. Yep.
All right. While we wait for official scores, Danny, you seem to settle those nerves. Ending with a 33. How'd that last time feel?
I don't know, that person should have been there.
Well, we'll say good equipment. If it goes off and it shouldn't be there, it's there. Well, that's great shooting. Danny, you've been shooting for a while. Who got you into archery?
I just started bow hunting, and I had friends that were shooting target archery, and I just started shooting with them. And
That's what makes this sport great, all the friends. Well, let's wait for the official scores down there to end this match. Some close arrow calls down there.
That one's not close. That one is as piped as you can get. That top one, though. I can't see it from this angle on this side.
Usually a 27, Chuck. If you get it inside that 10 line, yeah, you can see that hole.
It's just there,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, they upgraded it.
Yep, they did. Congratulations to Danny.
Place finisher. Randy's payout for fourth is $1,000. Congratulations, Randy.
Good, solid Sunday payoff there for,
Yeah, $1,000.
yeah.
That's nothing to sneeze at. But good first win for Danny Minnick, you know, get the nerves out.
Now
Yep.
he's warmed up a little bit
Yep.
and coming into this next match.
All right, so,
So,
we're going to go out to Josh Grind, and he's going to bring in our other archer.
All right, we're going to bring out your second place qualifier, Morgan Lundin from Sorrow, Sweden. He's a 3-time World Games champ and a 5-time world champ. Put your hands together for Morgan Lundin.
This is a fantastic blast from the past. For those who've been archery fans for a long, long, long time, you're looking at a staple on the indoor rounds, you know, consistently in the Vegas shoot-off and things like that. It's fantastic to see Morgan back over here.
Yeah, he said the last time he was here at the Classic was 9 years ago at when we had our big snowstorm.
Just a little bit of snow that year.
36 inches overnight in the middle of the Classic. That was the biggest snowstorm in 100 years in this area.
I remember seeing Rob out there on a little Kubota trying to clear the parking lots.
It was a mess. So welcome back, Morgan. Glad to have you here and on the big stage. Sweden sent a bunch of archers this year.
Mm-hmm.
11.
I was watching him practice backstage. He's a little different. He's got a very measured, calculated shot, and I never saw him miss the 11.
Yeah, he was right on fire. Yeah. Now, Morgan, to get here, he was our number 6 qualifier overall in the first 60 arrow matches. Went up against Clint Smith out of Georgia, beat him 129 to 126, and then went up against Michael Braden and just edged that out 130 to 129, and that put him here in the finals. A little low for a 10.
Danny looks much more comfortable now. He's getting into his groove.
Yep, picked up right where he left off.
11.
11-11, piping that one.
I heard some of the barebow archers last night say there was a light difference going from one platform to the other. We saw Morgan come in, and he made Danny move over to the left side platform, move him off his comfort spot. But
10.
with barebow, they're aiming a different way. So
Yeah, they're aiming off the tip of the arrow or something like that.
it's
Yeah.
probably not as pronounced to these guys from side to side.
Yeah, but you still want to try to offset that guy's.
Why not?
You know, some gamesmanship. You know, he's
Yeah.
obviously gotten comfortable on that first box.
All right, Josh is going to introduce us to Morgan.
Morgan, welcome to the stage.
What?
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Morgan, is this your first time at the Classic?
No, number 5.
First time on the stage. How's it feel?
Nice.
Nice. Well, you're shooting very well. Keep it up, Morgan.
A man of few words.
That's right.
It's all about business right now. Interesting vein combo on his arrows.
Yeah, I saw that back there, and it caught my eye, but then I didn't look at it closely.
Kind of looked like a spin ring.
They were very helical, or It caught my attention, then I got distracted. But it's harsh, helical. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, there's also some bend in the veins. I mean, they make spin wings that compound shooters use. Maybe that's what he's shooting. I don't know.
We should get Josh to ask him about that. That would be a really cool piece of information. But it definitely looks like a spin wing. See how he's
got the tape
taped on both ends? That kind of leads me to believe that's a spin wing on there, on a big aluminum shaft.
Yeah, we should mention, Chuck, so these guys here are both shooting what we call 27/64 diameter arrows. That's the biggest you can shoot anywhere in competition.
Yep.
And why not? Because that helps you catch those lines.
But you'll see a unique balance between some guys running a carbon 27, right? A little bit lighter tube, and then they can play with the point weight a little bit more. And then there's the school of thought that you go with the aluminum tube. Oh wow, a big 8 there.
Big shot there.
But you'll see him go to that aluminum tube, which has a little more mass to it. And again, you're playing with a point weight. Looks like he's running a top hat point there.
Yeah, both these guys shooting.
A little bit longer
Easton
in his hold.
aluminums.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Danny looks like he's running the points from Jesse Broadwater, that long ballistic point. Looks like he's got in that.
Competition archery products. That would make sense for Morgan to have the top hats. They're from Germany. Not too far from him, well, at least closer than here.
See, both of these guys struggling a little bit in this second end.
Yeah.
Danny with a super strange 8. Really offbeat pace for him.
Yeah, we don't. The pro level, it's rare to see one go in anything red.
Still only a 1-point difference, really, in the match, depending on Morgan's arrow there.
Yeah. Let's go to Josh.
I shoot Darton, Exodus, and Easton arrow.
She's got Darton, Easton. What sight do you have on there?
Shibuya,
And bars?
Donkey,
And what string are you shooting on here?
BCI,
BCI, you got your Easton arrows. What knocks are on there?
Beta.
What seems to be working well for you? Keep it up. We need a translator back there for that.
A little bit of crowd cheering. I'm impressed at actually how many people we have in the crowd for something this early in the morning.
Yeah. Hey.
Everybody gets a hot seat early in the morning.
Well, we should mention, Chuck, this is the largest indoor archery tournament on the East Coast, and this year was our biggest. We had 3,014 competitors. This is our first time going over the 3,000 mark. So, big turnout this year. We're appreciative of everybody who came out. And right now, this weekend.
An idea of the scale of that, the impact of that. I remember when Vegas wasn't 3,000 archers, right? So now you have the Lancaster event as large or bigger than Vegas used to be.
Yeah.
It's an amazing testament to what you guys have done here for the archery community, especially on the East Coast.
To give some scale, Chuck, our first year we had 160. And we did it in our shop.
I remember I shot some of those.
And now we're here, 750,000 square feet.
Just a tiny little place.
Just a little bit.
Ooh.
High 9. If you hadn't had, obviously you can see from Morgan's jersey, Darton, so he's shooting one of the new Darton bows. One of our big sponsors here at the Classic.
Nice, comfortable position. I was watching his hand on the release there, on the button. Not a puncher. Nice straight pull through.
We'll see a puncher. He's coming up next.
controlled shooting.
11.
You know,
Solid. I think Danny's going to have to hit that 12 button eventually.
11, 10 line.
yeah,
Yep.
5 points, potentially 4. That's a lot to overcome.
He's going to need that 12, and then he's going to need Morgan to edge a couple out there.
Yeah, and that's a tough position to be in. You know, you can only call that 12 once per end. So we shoot 4 ends. So at best, you've got 4 calls at it. You get to this point, you're 4 or 5 points behind. You can't go back and pick up those points. So it's kind of, it's not easy to hit. So you don't want to come out right out of the gate and miss it.
It's tiny. It's smaller than the regular 11 ring.
Yeah.
1.2 centimeters.
It's yeah, it's just bigger. You can fit a 27 inside out in it, but just barely.
I think that's one of the coolest developments that you guys created for this event, is that ability to kind of make up that point, you know.
Well, we got to the pro level, and it was just like 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. It was like, how do you give them some strategy? If it's just aim for the middle, there's no strategy.
Yeah.
So
it's just don't miss.
Yeah, you throw something out there, and that makes guys think, what if I shot this first end? Dave Cousins famously came out, first time up here, went for it. He missed, but you could tell he was hoping to put pressure on the other guy. Last end, 4-point lead.
10.
There's one of the windows that he needed. Now he needs to capitalize here.
Yeah.
Put an 11 on the board. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Got one back.
Going to plan it currently. Now he needs Morgan to hit a 10 on one of these last 2 arrows to have a chance.
11.
Oh, got that one.
Job number 1 here, hit that 11 ring.
11, 10 line.
I think that got it.
Let me take a look. I got a set of 15 power binoculars over here. I'm going to say he's probably got that.
That looked good. Our spotter's on the other side of the arrow, so you can't see it too well.
9, 10.
Oh, there it is. But Danny didn't go for the 12.
Doesn't need to. That's a 2-point swing, so if he puts it in the 11 here.
He might need it. That 10 asterisk. He must see that it's in.
11.
No. Chuck, we need these arrow calls.
Yeah, those asterisks mean everything right now.
Well, but even still, if it only goes up to an 11, he's down by 1 because that 9's
Oh yeah,
not
he should have.
getting
Yeah, doing
changed.
the math, he should have done the 12. Let's see what the final call is.
I
But
think
it
he's
definitely
going to lose by 1.
He is. He's going to. Yeah, even if Morgan stays a 9.
Which yeah.
See, and that's the rush of being on the stage. And I noticed he doesn't have a coach in the box.
No, he doesn't.
So
Someone to
somebody
say,
could have
"Hey,
tapped,
man,
you know, hey,
hit that 12."
Because you're trying to do that math in your head real fast. There's a lot of pressure on you.
I'd be lucky if I could remember my name. So I'm not doing that math up there.
Yeah, it's going to Morgan. It's going to Morgan.
So, Danny, your payout for third is $1,250 from LAX and $1,000 from Hoyt. Congratulations, Danny. And Morgan moves on to the next match.
Congratulations, Morgan Lundin.
Without further ado, let's get out your first place qualifier. I don't know how much introduction he needs, but Mr. Timothy Gillingham from Provo, Utah. He is a 2-time Classic champ, Put your hands together for Tim the Hammer Gillingham.
Tim doesn't even need the stage to stand to be that tall.
Yeah, he could stand on the floor and we wouldn't know.
I saw him just walk through the arch there. The archers walked through. He had his bow over his shoulder and hit the top of the arch. He almost took it over with him.
Yeah, Chuck, we want to make sure that we congratulate Danny Minnick for finishing third here at the Classic. So he did make the podium.
Great run.
And now we're up here, Chuck, and we're going to have to explain what's going on with Tim's bow, because people are going to be like, if you're not tuned into archery, you're going to say, what is that?
That is a walker.
He is in the master's class.
I have threatened to put tennis balls on the end of that stabilizer for him. But Tim is, if you look back through Tim's career, he is, big drop there on his first arrow.
He did not like that.
Tim has been on the forefront of trying all sorts of new ways of being successful. Not afraid to take your own try. And you can see he's got a big wide set of dual stabilizers on the front and duals off the back to keep that bow as steady as he possibly can.
Nothing about what he has up there is stock. His release is a true ball execute that he has modified the trigger on to make it work for him. Yeah, you can't look at Tim and say, oh, that's how I need to set up my bow. It works for him.
Yeah,
it may not work for anyone else on the planet.
He's got a very unique fit because of his super extra long draw length.
Yeah, he's big guy, 6'5", 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's big, so. But Morgan here is keeping it together. He's in a nice rhythm, and Tim gave him that window right at the get-go. But I know he'll go for that 12.
Yeah, that's that. Tim going for the 12 is not going to scare him even a little bit.
Here we go.
Good morning. Tim, we know how much you look forward to indoor every year. This being your favorite event and favorite indoor season, tell us what bow you're shooting this morning.
This is a new Title 40. I actually like this tournament in indoor. It's not bad. It's a little bit different once you get to the shoot-off. It's a little bit different game. So got the new Title 40. Awesome bow. Finally starting to really get along well with it. So looking forward to a really good season this year.
What arrows are you shooting there in Knox?
Gold tip triple X, Ackie Light Knox, Q2I 4-inch 4-fletch.
Let's get ahead of the YouTube comments here and questions. How long is that riser bar in between your two stabilizers there?
12 inches.
12 inches. He's got bars going everywhere. That is Tim Gillingham. After one end, we've got Morgan with a 33 and Tim with a 31. And just a reminder, that 12 ring is always in play.
So,
just hit the button.
coincidentally, or maybe not, Chuck, Tim with 4 stabilizers out there, he's in the business of selling stabilizers.
Yeah, yes, he is.
So if he could get every archer to buy 4, imagine the salesmanship there.
And he's not afraid to tell you that you need to use it.
Morgan with a 2-point lead. 11. And if he keeps shooting like that, he's got to go for that 12 because, remember, he may have to make up 2 points. And you can only call that 12 once per end.
See his finger come off the release there. And that's, he's not the puncher that he used to be. Yeah, I think he controls it much better than he used to.
Yeah, he's gotten into like precision air rifle shooting. Mm-hmm. He said that kind of helps him with his trigger work. And Morgan's just cruising. He's got that 11 dialed.
11. Tim, too, right there in the same hole. Now, Tim was our number 9 qualifier overall. Shot a 132, 126 against Mike Hulbert. And then went head-to-head against Jamie Drouillard.
Number 1.
Mm-hmm. Took him out 130, 127. And that put him here. Number 1 to qualify. Ooh. And there it is. There's the 12.
Knew he had to do it. How much time?
He's down to 18, 17 seconds. 15 by the time he starts to draw here. Still plenty of time for
Plenty
Tim.
of time.
And this shoot-off situation doesn't scare him even a little bit.
If he can see it. Whoa. Oh, we got it.
Wow, yes. Yes. There's a big fist bump. Heck yes. Look at that big sigh.
That is the hammer. He's often said, you know, he's not afraid to lose, and if that's what he has to do, he'll do it. And like we were saying, Chuck, he had to think about it early. Here we go. Let's take a look at that 12. Oh, I was going to say he had his eyes closed.
Tim, you practice aiming at the 12s.
No risk, no reward.
Yes, got it.
I just figured if I miss, then I
So Tim is actually one of the folks who was calling for something like this.
Playing it early. Tim, I do have to ask, in qualifications, you're kind of always out there and you're a little further back, and I don't like this game. And sure enough, we get into eliminations, and I look over, and you're the number 1 seed. What is your mental shift between qualification and elimination?
Well, usually in qualification, I'm stressed out, totally. And in eliminations, I have a little bit better time, like playing the game between that one guy. So I think I just focus better. I get a little overwhelmed in the whole competition. I'm in my own head, I guess.
Well, you're doing well. Keep those 12s rolling. After 2 ends, we've got Morgan with the 66, Tim with the 65.
All right, yeah, climbed that. So what I was saying was Tim was one of the folks who was calling for that 12 ring because he wanted to add some risk reward. That's what he likes. It's in between the 7 and 8 ring. So the risk is huge. If he would have missed that, he'd have been out of it.
Yeah, but, you know, like you say, he's not afraid to put himself in a position to win. And, you know, if it goes sideways, at least he tried to put himself in a position to win. It's putting everything out there. There's nothing about safe.
Yeah, because as you can see, and now maybe even Morgan may start to think about that 12.
Well, now Morgan's got to think, hey, he can do it if he needs to do it. So it puts a little extra pressure on him.
Yeah.
But Tim, like you mentioned, being in the head-to-heads, you know, he's so used to the shoot-off position, whether it be in the ASA or any other event. He's so comfortable in a shoot-off. And during qualification rounds, you know, there's a lot going on. He's setting up a booth. He's working the booth. He's dealing with customers. And then he's trying to get his arrows off.
Yeah, we should mention, Tim's not one who just comes to a shoot, shows up and shoots. He works from the start to the finish.
He's a busy, busy man. I envy his energy.
Morgan has a 10 asterisk here. I couldn't see it. Give a look with your binoculars, Chuck.
Let me see.
That's definitely a 10.
Oh, yeah. That's the door Tim needs for sure. Yeah, from here, I'm going to say that second one is definitely an 11.
Oh, we got it.
33, so...
We got it. Tie match. There we go. So we can see right there, Chuck, his coach is Kyle Douglas. Not too shabby an indoor guy himself.
Yeah, if you want somebody in your box that knows something about shooting.
There's Tim's reaction there.
Yep, now he knows it's down to that one arrow.
Yeah.
I think Morgan's saying he did, Tim. He said you guys have shot together before. Do you remember the match?
No, I don't remember the past.
I don't remember the past.
These two guys.
I wonder if that means Morgan beat him in that one, so Tim forgot it.
I'm sure it does.
Pushed it right out. Tie match here.
Here we go. Last end, Chuck. 12 is in play.
Look, these guys are talking strategy real quick. You see that?
So it's important who shoots first. Oh, there you go. Morgan put Tim on the seat to shoot first,
Put him on the hot seat.
which does two things. Now Morgan has last shot, but Tim can go for that 12, and if he hits it, forces Morgan's hand.
Yeah, but he took that control away from Tim
Yep.
by giving himself the last arrow. Rolls through that release nice and comfortable.
Yeah, Morgan shoots a hinge unlike Tim, so Morgan has no trigger on his release. The release has to rotate. He's just pulling steady.
Oh, 10.
All right.
A high 10.
So he will definitely go for the 12 on this last arrow.
Unless
Has to.
Morgan hits a 10. There's the pressure.
There it is.
And instantly he went for that 12.
There's the 12. This is it.
He's got to hit this to have a
Has
chance
to
for
hit
a
it.
tie.
18 seconds. He hits surgery. 12. Oh, he got
Yes. And that's a very solid 12. Oh,
there
Morgan's
he
going for
goes.
the 12. He's going
This
for the
is
win.
for the win, so this is it. This is the match, Chuck.
Checkers or wreckers.
This is it.
If he hits the 12, he wins.
He wins. Misses it, Tim wins.
No.
Oh, he missed.
And Tim's your champion.
Tim the Hammer Gillingham. 2 12s to take it. Let's go to Josh. Well, Josh is waiting for the scores to be official out there to tell us what Morgan has won. But what a great match there, Chuck, to start the day. Morgan Lundin did everything he could right up to the end. Needed that 12.
And both guys calling a 12 in the final end
The
of the
hammer.
match, right down to the last arrow.
Oh, Tim
What a way to get
Gillingham.
your morning started.
Here we go.
Tim Gillingham is your winner, making Morgan your second place finisher with a $2,000 payout from LAS, a $3,500 payout from Darton. Congratulations, Morgan.
Good weekend.
Tim, that 12 ring comes in big. Tell us about that last arrow.
Well, I was hoping not to have to get put in that position, but the way my shot process, the way I fire on basically sight picture, that seems to be a little easier task to hit a smaller color than to hit the center of a bigger color. So, I felt pretty confident coming in. That first arrow got away from me. I bumped the trigger a little bit early, and it kind of put me in a bad spot, but I got back.
Well, congratulations for first place. You get $4,000 from LAS, $5,000 from Matthew. Tim, we will see you later this year.
Great payday for Tim. Congratulations
Yes.
to him.
Hey, that's what we like to see, Chuck. Finishing out on a 12 like that for the Hammer, Tim Gillingham, his second win here in the Masters Open Pro class. Chuck, that's going to do it for us here for Masters Open Pro. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back here at the 2025 Lancaster Archery Classic.